Hello students, how are you students? Yesterday I explained 8th part of the lesson Bholi, and in that part I was telling you that after watching black poke marks on Bholi's face, Bisambarnath refused to marry with her. When one of his friends told him if Bholi had black poke marks on her face, then he was not also so young. Then Bisambarnath told his friend if Bholi's father Ramlal would give him 5,000 rupees, then he would marry with his daughter. Ramlal was listening to Bisambar's word. Then he requested Bisambarnath to marry with his daughter without taking money. But Bisambar refused his request. After that, Ramlal again requested him to take 2,000 rupees for marrying with his daughter. Then Bisambar again refused that request of Ramlal. At last Ramlal went to his house and took out bundle of 5,000 rupees and put that bundle at Bisambar's feet. Now I am going to explain ninth part of the lesson. On Bisambar's greedy face appeared a triumphant smile. He had gambled and won. Give me the garland, he announced. After receiving 5,000 rupees from Ramlal, Bisambar smiled victoriously because he had gambled. In what way Bisambar not had gambled? Because he received 5,000 rupees from Ramlal. That is why he won the gambling game. Okay? Means if Ramlal would not give him 5,000 rupees, even after that he would marry with Bholi. Because no girl would be ready to marry with Bisambarnath. Because he was very old person. When he received 5,000 rupees from Ramlal, then he became overjoyed. Because he had to marry with Bholi anyhow, even after her black poke marks. After that, he demanded for the garland in order to put it on Bholi's neck. Once again, the wheel was slipped back from the bride's face, but this time her eyes were not downcast. She was looking up, looking straight at her prospective husband. Once again, Bholi's face was uncovered and the wheel slipped back from her face. Silken mantle slid back from her face and her face was uncovered. That time Bholi was not looking downward. That time Bholi was looking straight at her prospective husband. And in her eyes there was neither anger nor hate, only cold contempt. That time she was neither angry nor hateful, but that time she was looking at Bisambarnath in disgusting manner. Okay. Bisambar raised the garland to place it round bride's neck. But before he could do so, Bholi's hand struck out like a streak of lightning and the garland was flung into the fire. She got up and threw away her wheel. While Bisambarnath was going to put garland on Bholi's neck, and before that, Bholi hurriedly, with the speed of lightning, wrested a garland from Bisambar's hand and threw it at the fire. After that, he threw her wheel and got up. That time she was looking very confident. Pitaji, said Boli in a clear, loud voice, and her father, mother, brothers, sisters, relatives, and neighbors were startled to hear her speak without even the slightest stammer. And then he addressed, after that, and she addressed Ramlal with the words Pitaji. And she spoke the words Pitaji without confidently, without any slightest stammer. And after listening the words spoken by Bholi confidently, with confidence, Bholi's brothers, sisters, relatives, neighbors, her father, and her mother were surprised to listen that word, that fluent word from Boli's mouth. That time she was looking very confident. Okay, that is why everybody was started, was surprised. Take back your money. I am not going to marry this man. Then Bholi requested her father to take back 5,000 rupees from Bisambarnath because she was not going to marry with him. Ramlal was thunderstruck. The guest began to whisper, so shameless, so ugly, and so shameless. After listening Boli's words, Ramlal was shocked because in the village, if the daughters refused to marry, then refused to marry before the persons, before the relatives, before the villagers who reached to attend marriage ceremony, then it is considered very shameful act for that daughter. And daughter's fathers also is insulted. Daughter's family is also insulted, disgraced before the villagers. That is why Ramlal was shocked, because he was being indignated, insulted. And the guest also started talking to each other in a low voice, and they were calling Bholi as the shameless girl and ugly girl and shameless girl, because Bholi dared to refuse to marry with Bisambarnath. Bholi, are you crazy? Shouted Ramlal. Then Ramlal asked Bholi in a loud voice if she had gone mad. You want to disgrace your family? Have some regard for our izzat. And Ramlal asked Bholi if she wanted to disgrace their family, if she had some regard for their respect, dignity, izzat. For the sake of your izzat, said Bholi, I was willing to marry this lame old man, but I will not have such a mean, greedy, and contemptible coward as my husband. I would not, I would not, I would not. After listening Ramlal's words, Bholi replied that for the sake of izzat, for the sake of the dignity of the family, she was ready to marry with that lame old man or Bisambarnath. But after knowing the reality about, knowing the meanness or greediness of Ramlal, sorry, but after knowing the meanness of or greediness of Bisambarnath, she would not marry with Bisambarnath. And she told Ramlal, Bholi told Ramlal that at first she was ready to marry with Bisambarnath, but after knowing about his meanness, greediness, she would not marry with him. And she would not marry with disgusting coward. She would never accept Bisambarnath. She would never accept that disgusting coward at her husband. I would not. And she was insisting upon her sentence, and she repeated that she would not marry with Bisambar, she would not marry with Bisambar, she would not marry with Bisambar. What a shameless girl! We all thought she was a harmless dumb cow. Bholi turned violently on the old woman. Yes, auntie, you are right. You all thought I was dumb driven cow. That is why you wanted to hand me over to this heartless creature. But now the dumb cow, the stammering fool, is speaking. Do you want to hear more? After that, an old woman who was standing nearby, she called Bholi a shameless girl. And she further told that they all were thinking if Bholi was a harmless dumb cow. She did not know how to speak. After listening that old woman's words, Bholi turned violently towards her and asked her by addressing her as auntie. If addressing her auntie, after listening the words of that old woman, Bholi turns towards her and said by addressing her auntie, you are right, you all thought I was dumb driven cow. Said that they were all right. They were all right. All of you would be thinking, they were all right, all of them would be thinking if she was a dumb driven cow. If Bholi was a dumb driven cow. That is why they were thinking, Bholi told the old woman that at first all of them were thinking that Bholi was a dumb driven cow and she dared not to oppose anything. That is why they wanted to marry her with that heartless creature. Means it was right. Bholi told it was right that at first he could not speak. She could not speak. She did not know how to speak. Okay, and because of that, they wanted to marry her with that heartless and mean creature Bisambarnath. Okay, if Bholi wanted to say, if she was very simple girl, she was considered very simple girl, dumb girl, then her relatives would take care of about marriage and they would arrange a suitable husband for her. But what did they do? They wanted to marry Bholi with a heartless and mean creature Bisambarnath. when they wanted to marry Bholi with the heartless and mean creature Bisambarnath, then she dared to oppose them. When she dared to oppose them, then she was being considered shameless girl. Okay? But now the dumb cow, the stammering fool, is speaking. Do you want to hear more word? And she also told that old woman that dumb cow, now the dumb cow, Bholi, the stammering fool, dumb cow, then she told old woman that dumb cow, the stammering fool, now learn to speak. If they wanted to hear more words from her. Now students, I think you will have understood this part of the lesson, and tomorrow I will explain next part of the lesson. Thank you and have a nice day.